There is actually a form of sex you want to avoid, especially if you're someone who struggles to last longer in bed. My name is Austin Salas. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I help men overcome sexual issues so that they can last longer and have an amazing sex life. And today I want to discuss a very important topic that comes up around our natural urges and desires, and how this can actually work against us and make our sex lives much more difficult than it probably already is. You may not be familiar with this, but this form of sex is called a quickie. You see, quickies are meant to be very quick, hence the name, and fast and in a short period of time. Yet most men have trained themselves through poor and early masturbation habits to reach climax as quickly as possible, no pun intended. And their nervous systems are adapted to this fast level of arousal, and when they finally get the opportunity to be with a partner, they end up repeating history and causing a lot of dissatisfaction in their relationships. So let's say you're in a situation where hormones are flaring and you and your partner decide to have a quickie. Well, your nervous system will say, this is something I've seen before and I know exactly what to do. And boom, you finish quickly. The problem is that we are reinforcing this sexual behavior through this quote unquote quick sex. And when we do decide to have regular sex, your nervous system will not be able to tell the difference between quick sex and normal sex, and you will finish early every single time. Because our sexual urges and desires are a subconscious mechanism at play, if we don't learn how to retrain these poor and bad habits, you'll continue to feel dissatisfied in your sexual relationships. I'm not saying quickies are a bad thing. Matter of fact, there are women who will argue that it feels like there is a moment of such strong sexual desire that it's attractive, it's luring. Yet at the same time, if you have a history of not lasting long enough, you want to stay far away from that, because again, it's only reinforcing the sexual habit and hammering it into your subconscious so that when you do decide to start learning how to last longer, it'll take you much more work to do so. Not even to mention that women are less likely to be sexually satisfied by a quickie because they usually require more stimulation to reach the same levels of pleasure as men. It may leave her wanting more or leave her feeling as though she takes too long and insecure about her own sexual responses. And even worse, it may make her feel like you just can't satisfy her sexually. And that becomes a huge problem. I mean, the moment a woman begins to perceive that you can't satisfy her sexually, she'll begin to resent you. She'll begin to look and treat you differently. Imagine this for a moment. Say you're going into sex already knowing that that person's gonna leave you at the halfway mark. She'll begin, or you'll begin, looking at sex like a chore and have that, okay, let's just get it over with mindset. Imagine if that was the case for men. Nobody likes to feel like their needs aren't being met, especially knowing that sex is our own form of intimate love and expression, and in some ways an escape from the world into something very beautiful. If you can't meet those needs, it's really only a matter of time before things get complicated in that relationship. Avoid any type of sex that's on a timed schedule. This will make you much more anxious, nervous, and it puts an unnecessary amount of stress on your body. Most of the time, quickies take place in a awkward and uncomfortable place. So do yourself a favor and don't make sex any more uncomfortable than it already has to be. It shouldn't be uncomfortable in the first place, but obviously in some cases it can be. So please, if you do suffer from premature ejaculation or performance anxiety, you want to stay as far away as you can from quickies.